Raymond Camina,
Present.
Rochelle Garcia, Judy Gutierrez,
Present.
Bethany Luna, Janie Martinez, Marisa Ramirez, present, Rebecca Sepulveda, and Alejandro Villarreal.
Present.
Okay,
In this case, we don't have a quorum.
so we cannot do this.
For record, we don't have a quorum.
For record, we do not have a quorum of 5 members, so therefore we will review the minutes from our last meeting.
We can't
can't
approve
do
the
that.
meetings.
We can't have
We can't take any
motions,
action.
Yeah, we can't take any.
but we can listen to the reports if that's
Mhm.
what we would.
We can go through the reports, there just can't be any actions,
But we
including the.
don't take any actions on the reports.
Just, no,
Except-
the actions would be the minutes, with the motions to approve the excused members from the last meeting, things like that. Other than that, we can go through the reports, not without.
So I start here under the December activity report.
We could, to have the financial statements, to review them,
We
because
can
it's
review them,
not for
but-
action, it's here.
It's not an action
Yeah.
item.
It's not, we
We-
just receive the information on the
Mhm.
financials, is that right?
Yeah, we can go through the financials.
Yeah,
Page 5,
I think that's,
review the year-to-date financial statements.
Is this part of the meeting or we close and we?
I think
we can,
I think we can
we're not in session, we're not
Okay.
formal, I mean, we can't convene, let me put it that way.
No, just for the.
Would you recommend that, because you have more experience, would you recommend that we go ahead and adjourn and
You
proceed
can't
with
adjourn
discussion?
because we don't have a quorum.
Okay.
You would have a motion, anything that requires a motion. So this meeting is really not a meeting, this is just here, we're just gonna receive information. This is a meeting where we will just receive the information, listen to financials and the reports, and with no action.
Okay.
And that's very important, no action.
So on page 5, we have the financials. We're well into our fiscal year. We are in the second quarter, actually, of our fiscal year, and we're moving. We have we already had our largest event of the first quarter, which is Paisano. And I'll talk a little bit more about the event in my report.
Okay.
But everything looks, we're on track with our expenses and our revenue. Actually, we got we usually don't have a lot of revenue because we don't charge for anything, other than little things for co-ops. But we do have our sales for our promo items. And we had a Christmas stocking stuffer sale. We're having another one for Valentine's Day. So we're promoting our promo items with the city staff and the community. So we got some good sales that we didn't expect out of the stocking stuffers.
But I think that the important thing is the revenue that is coming into the hotel and the distribution of those funds to fund this.
Definitely. And that's the bigger part of the revenue. The other one is just little change, but definitely, and that's on page 7. As you see, the collections from hotel occupancy, as you know, we don't have the up to date because it takes time to upload all the information. But we do have, as per request from last year, the number, the projection, the actual projection, not the one that's dropped into the system, but our actual projection for our budget.
Is the projection for 2019 for November 196,000? Or am I wrong?
This is, and it's October. Is October?
No, well, no.
Well,
The
it's
rate
dropped
is
in
under
it.
November.
Yeah,
I'm just reading off of what the
Yes.
schedule is here.
it is a projection.
Then 196 for November?
Yes, because we projected that we're not gonna have
We didn't have any convention business.
And we didn't have the Big Bad Barbecue, so we don't have any events during that month. And so we projected that we were gonna be a little bit lower. But we projected a higher, and we went very conservative in this one. If you see, for example, for August, we projected higher, way higher than what we had in actuals in October. So same thing with September. So we try to balance it out depending on the events, depending on the projections of the conferences that we know that we're gonna have. That's where we.
That's where you do this, you do
Yeah.
it in this department. But
Yeah, we do it. The number that you used to see before, which was a blank, like average, that's finance. But we do this, and we sit down in March. We sit down, we review everything that we have for the following year.
Mhm.
All the numbers, and we already have a pre-projection, if you want to call it like that, from here to 2022. So taking into consideration presidential elections in the US, in Mexico, taking into consideration, like for example, we know that when the president in Mexico changes, that we have an increase in the exchange rate. Even when the US president changes, we have an increase in the exchange rate. So all those things we take into consideration when projecting. And right now we have all the way to 2022 already projected with an increase or decrease. And we just go back in March.
This is a guesstimate of everything.
Exactly. And then we go back in March and go in detail to the following fiscal year. Any other questions on our finance report?
We shall see the final numbers at the next meeting, or?
Yes. We should already have all the numbers dropped into the system.
Muy bien.
My report is on page 8. As I mentioned, our largest event for the season, and I shared with you, in the last meeting, I shared with you our report for advertising and promotion for our shopping season. We did see a good number of people coming in at the outlet, at the mall, in our hotels for the shopping season, and also the combination of our visitors with our paisanos. So we had a big number of people coming in, especially that weekend right before Christmas. Our paisano tent this year, it was 62 hours instead of 48. The reason being that we identified based on trends that people tend to travel more on Thursday and Saturdays. And we were opening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so being so close to Christmas, we wanted to test our theory and see if we would get more people during those days. Right before that, there was a caravan. We have a group, this is the 10th annual caravan. It's a group this year of around 1,000 vehicles.
How does that happen? How does that caravan happen?
There's an association, es Asociación de Migrantes Unidos.
And so they talk to each other,
They
and
talk to each
plan,
other.
and
Mhm.
Yes, I
It's
thought
a
that's right.
big organization.
wow.
They started 10 years ago with only people that were going to Jalpan de Serra, which is a little town in the mountains in Querétaro. And there was a priest there that started organizing the caravan, and they started with a few vehicles, and this year they have 3 states joining. They had Guanajuato, San Luis Potosí, and Querétaro. They had 1,000 vehicles. They had Seguridad Pública del Estado de Querétaro escorting them from Nuevo Laredo all the way to Querétaro.
Wow.
About
No wonder
30 elements.
and it's good that, there's safety in numbers. I guess,
Exactly.
that's right.
And they all follow each other? I mean,
They all follow each other. They're very well organized. They have
Decals.
large decals that they put in their vehicles so that they know they're part of the caravan.
Wow, that's well
Instituto Nacional de
organized.
Migración
That's
and
organized.
Aduana. Because what takes longer when you cross to Mexico as a paisano is you have all these things in your truck, right? And so you have to go through Migración, you have to go through Aduana. Migración and Aduana come here, they meet in Walmart, and they gather there the day before, and Migración is there doing the permits, Aduana is checking the vehicles, everything, so that in the morning, they leave bright and early.
They do 1,000 vehicles?
Can you imagine they stop at a gas station?
Everybody that shopped at Walmart.
Do they know that, I mean, do they know where they're gonna be stopping? So
Yes, they have everything ordered.
To throw in the gas and everything.
And,
lucky the ones where they stop.
They have volunteers, they have a lot of people to volunteer for do that. That's
it's
Organized.
yes, it's
Yes.
organized and they have, obviously, they have problems and anything, but they have all the people working together and they arrive customs, immigration, Mexican immigration,
Mexican customs.
and they review all the paperwork, the vehicle, the cars, the
Do they
people.
give them the paperwork before?
They can do,
They-
now they can do a lot of the paperwork online.
Online, yes.
So you can get your permit for your vehicle online. You just get here and they stamp it
The
right.
stamp,
That's your tourist permit.
Same,
tourist
same,
permit.
same, well, the vehicle
vehicle.
permit, you get the hologram, everything, you get it in the mail.
Yes.
And then the only thing you need is your personal permit, which you can also get it online, and you just get it here to get it stamped.
Wow.
So there's a
So
lot of
that's
things
what
that they can
¿No
also
le
do.
digan a Trump? Porque no
No, si hubiera visto todo esto. No, we had Subsecretaria de Desarrollo Económico de Querétaro come here. We had a whole delegation from Querétaro. We had mayors from several cities in San Luis Potosí, in Querétaro, and Guanajuato visit with mayor here. We facilitated that meeting. So it was a big event, and that's the day before we start our operation. So that's a Wednesday and Thursday, and then our operation started Thursday.
You know, and that's one thing that Washington needs to see, because it's something that, you know, they come and all these people work, obviously. I mean, they have vehicles, I mean, they're taxpayers, you know, and they go visit their homeland and they come back.
Really nice vehicles.
And they purchase everything over here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they bring it in, you know,
That's something that's
so-
never ever
You see
been.
Cadillacs, you see Escalades going over there, F-250s.
Oh, yeah, but now he's gonna say that they're selling drugs.
Yeah.
They have amazing, I mean, they work hard
Yeah,
for the
sure.
stuff they have.
Yeah.
I believe it. I mean, I know.
And there's a lot of people that travel with the group, and we have on our rest stop, we also have U.S. Customs, because they want to make sure that they know what to do when they come back. What
So
they
they're
can
already
bring.
prepared.
They're already preparing them for when they come
Yeah,
back.
they are very nice people, because believe it or not, we get a lot of them on the way back. They're so busy, busy family, they don't want to buy stuff, they don't waste their time. They'll come, like at my shop, at main shops in Bernardo, load up into the nicest people, very patient, and they just buy. Oh my God.
And you know, it's easier to buy over here than.
Yeah,
than
no,
go through the-
no.
Because like my shop is on such a huge variety, they don't have to go to a lot of little shops,
Yeah,
and they all have to take back something, a little souvenir. Not
Yeah.
much, but a little something
well, yeah.
from Mexico. Purchase in Laredo, Texas.
One of the things that I saw, because I dropped off my brother in the airport in Nuevo Laredo on the 2nd, is the operation that Nuevo Laredo also has when they come back. They have several rest stops along Colosio, and then Banjército is there on the street on Colosio as you go into the bridge, canceling the vehicle permits, doing all the stuff of all the people that are coming back.
That's what now they say, well, a lot of the people that are illegal here, you know, just don't, they come on a visa and they never go back.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that they, you know.
They fly in.
They fly,
A lot of them-
exactly, they fly. So they're.
Goes over the wall.
There's no,
So it's really an impressive operation. It's very interesting to see.
it's very coordinated, it seems, very
I
coordinated.
can imagine how Laredo benefits from it.
Uh-huh.
Or the benefits from it.
We
Just
have
things
read
like
a story on that.
Yeah.
Tell the
The whole
story,
process.
because
the
it's like,
food, the gas.
I mean, you know,
ah,
you're telling us, but
1,000 cars,
Yeah.
4 people per car.
our community.
There's already meals at the
I'll
stop.
work
and
with
the kids and
Shelley to
snacks
see if we
and-
can do
Yeah.
something.
Because it's very
Backing up.
interesting. I
And
mean,
the other benefits from the sales tax.
It's very,
The merchant.
and Blasita and I always say that it's a very interesting visual. It's a case study. You see all these people days before, and people here get frustrated because of the traffic and everything. But
I
it's
think-
really something.
But I think even you, the flip side of the story,
Uh-huh.
because a lot of people don't know, have no idea.
Yeah,
it's just like the monarchs going to make, I mean, you see the, you know, really, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you take that analogy and then
Uh-huh.
you put, you know, you
Yeah.
compare it to what's going on on the
That's
ground.
to document
I mean,
this.
it's just, you need to document that.
and these people, they're coming from all over, even Canada. We have people coming from California, from Florida, from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Oregon, even Canada, and they choose Laredo.
Because you're very well organized now.
Because we provide the services, because it's easy access, so everybody, the caravan, 1,000 cars are coming from all over the US, all over Canada,
Imagine,
and they
Can
need,
you
All
imagine it
these
getting
people-
larger and larger? I think one
Yeah.
of these days you're gonna have to just keep one bridge for just the.
the caravan.
No,
And we
really, I mean.
Yeah, we'd be
Because
we
all
try
these-
to
could do
move them
that.
to like the arena, for example. They wanna
They
be
don't
at
want
Walmart.
it.
Walmart, of course. Walmart is so packed. They have everything they need there.
Yeah.
don't have all the last minute necessities.
Last year, they
But remember, all these
moved the
people are
caravan to
ambassadors.
the park.
Yes.
They're gonna go back to their city and say, wow,
Exactly.
Laredo's a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
Word gets, word gets around, you
Yeah.
know?
And we had people
Who
that
needs the internet?
that comes down to the rest stop saying, oh yeah, I heard about it last year.
They're like, did I miss it?
Did I miss it? Was I here at the right time? Or-
And I think that the reason they come, other than the fact that it's very well organized, you know, that this port, I mean, Laredo, the crossing, I mean, it's closer to a lot of the other cities, and, you know, you go to El Paso, they have to travel
Yeah.
much longer in
Much longer.
Mexico.
Exactly.
And
Because
here,
remember
you-
last year,
Plus
they
the-
tried to move the to El Paso.
They tried to do
closest-
something in El Paso last year, and the Mexican government, it didn't work. Because here this is a Pan-American highway. So
So it goes,
Highway 57 connects them
Rich
to,
fees too, we benefit.
it connects them directly to Monterrey, to the major
cities.
cities. So
Yeah, because
yeah.
the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and this is a straight line. So, I mean, you know, that's what you do, I
Yeah.
mean, people have already figured it out.
And if you're coming from California, and we were talking about this, if you're coming from California, you don't want to cross in Tijuana or Mexicali because you're going to have to drive in the desert for a long time.
I hadn't realized that. So when
Yeah.
I was at the tent and I had families from California, I was like, oh my goodness, like they're coming all the way through Texas, like, you know, traveling to get to Texas and then coming
Better
down.
highways.
But Eileen
safer.
explained it to me.
Yeah.
She's like, it's just so much safer for them than having to trek on their own. Like,
Because even safety, but also safety in terms of
Numbers.
numbers. A lot more people travel through here. You don't have to travel in the desert, which happens also in Chihuahua with El Paso. They get to the desert, and if something happens,
In the middle of
Nobody
nowhere.
knows
And
you're
kids,
there. If your car breaks down, not even like safety issues, but if your car breaks down, it's much more difficult to
You
find
can't get any
help.
assistance.
Here, everything is already coordinated where even the Mexican authorities, they already know and they coordinate
But they have
help.
already escort, I mean, they're already gonna be, you know, they.
For the caravan,
caravan.
for the ones that come in
Thank you.
throughout.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And INCIDEF, which is the office, the Mexican office where you get your vehicle permit, for the people that don't travel in the caravan, they also have like mini caravans. So people gather there and they travel together because safety is
That's
in
neat. Qué bueno. I'm very impressed with the presentation, you know. Wow, 1,000 vehicles.
And that was only the
That's
caravan.
just one caravan.
That's only the caravan.
At the rest stop, we service around 3,000 people during the 62 hours of the rest stop. So we had good numbers this year. We serviced around 1,000 more people than last year.
But everybody was so grateful. Ay, no, muchas gracias. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate this.
Well, you know, they come to
So,
friendly
so
faces
grateful.
now,
Oh, this
open
is
up to a
the
friendly
red carpet.
environment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody else.
Nobody else is doing it.
No.
And we're always amazed. I mean, we have people that are coming and you see the families that the parents speak Spanish, the kids speak English, and so they
No,
feel,
yeah,
That's
that's
the funny thing.
the parents
It's
feel
cute.
comfortable. Yeah.
The kids will go back and they're like, they say it's free. It's happy.
So,
so cute.
so it's definitely not only a big operation, but it's also very heartwarming and very interesting to see it, to be a part of.
So when you hear, negative comments like, oh, they're coming again. Oh, and I'm like, that's so rude. Like, these
I
are
know.
so,
They have no
they're
idea.
so nice. Like,
a lot of
they're
good.
taxpayers. They
Exactly.
live in the United States. You
Plus, they
know.
have a lot of money here in Laredo.
I think that's what Laredo does. A lot of people don't know, they're
Yeah.
educated.
They spend their money here in Laredo. They stay at hotels.
Walmart makes
They
a lot of money.
go to gas
eat.
stations. They
Yeah.
go eat. They
Walmart's banking big time.
Walmart. They shop at our stores. So it's definitely something.
What do you think
benefits.
the multiplier effect is with those? How much more?
It would be interesting to do what we do with Pony League, just to do a quick survey and see
Mhm.
how much do you spend in a day, in a
Yeah, how much-
stop.
yeah.
It would be interesting to just calculate that,
'Cause
that number.
they stay here about like a whole day.
Yeah,
Some
they
might
stay
even
here.
live there more than a day.
That's at least 3 meals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And then average family is what, 4 or 5?
yeah.
Or more.
Or more?
They're packed in those vans.
Yeah,
you
'cause they
see
take
the
their
little
grandmas
families
and-
too.
Busy.
And
The dogs and the
family,
cats
everybody
and
goes.
Yeah, they need food and
Yeah.
everything.
So,
Yeah, just the food, the gas, the lodging, and all the last minute necessities.
Oh,
Yeah.
shopping, yeah.
You know,
The
shampoo,
So
soap,
todos tienen
toys.
mascotas también.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sí, vemos perros,
Y little puppies.
gatos.
¿Y se los traen también?
Sí.
I have no one to leave them with, I guess.
What is
you
it
know.
that they're allowed?
Ferrets. It's dog, cats, and ferrets.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
it.
the Mexican customs. Yeah, they were telling us, and we were like ferrets. They're like,
Yeah.
Why
Do they have all the paperwork when they come back?
yes, you need to have it's
So you know
like
what
a
we
like
need?
a.
We'll put the wall in the little passport.
They're probably
Wait a minute. He's brown now. He was black.
Raymond, actually, Customs was giving a little mini passport.
Little pop ribs.
Funny.
All right, then. That's a nice report, thank you, because it's
Thank you, Andy.
very informative.
Good morning, Madam Chair. My report's on page 9. This month, like Eileen said, we're really busy with Paisano, but we bidded for a conference to hold the National Narcotic Drug Detectives Association annual conference for 2020, and it's very promising. We hosted it back in 2013, and last year that we did the presentation for them, we were just short like 3-4 votes. So we lost against Fort Worth, Texas, but we were competing. It was Fort Worth, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Laredo, and we missed it just by 3 or 4 votes. So this year we're hoping we'll have a good chance. They have a board meeting on February the 9th, so hopefully right after the board meeting we'll know if we pass to do the presentation and stuff. But it's a big conference because they're here for a whole week, from Sunday through Friday. So right now we're really excited and we're hoping for that. And getting ready for the Winter Texan Expo in McAllen. Nora and myself will be traveling next week. It's a big expo there in McAllen, all the Winter Texans, so we'll be promoting the Birding Festival, the Washington's birthday celebration, the golf, because there's a lot of golf enthusiasts from over there that from the Winter Texans. So the Max will be going with us, and the outlet shops of Laredo, they'll be with us over there, so they'll be promoting their information. So So we're really excited for this year, that the Yala Shops is gonna be there as well. So it's a cross promotion. They have a package where it has a play shop and stay. They partner with La Posada and the Max, so they have a little package like that. So we're hoping that gets the exposure and the interest for people to come in. And so yeah, we're working for that. And of course, Austin legislative trip, you know, we're getting ready for that. It's gonna be in 3 weeks. So that's a huge event in Austin that the city goes and the private sector as well. So that's pretty much what I have. If you guys have any questions in regards to my report?
Yeah, we're gearing up for the Austin and the Washington.
What is the Washington trip?
It's March 3rd through the 7th. And Austin is the 27th through the 31st. And this year, our office is, well, every year we help with the reception and logistics of the trips, but this year we're also adding an app, so we're working on that part.
Okay.
On page 10 is Veronica's report, and basically she was focused on Paisano too. She's also working on preparations for Austin and Washington, being that she's our logistics coordinator and services coordinator. She handles a lot of the gifts, the preparation for the VIP gifts, the little party favors, everything that we prepare for Austin and Washington. So she's been busy with that and just the logistics of Paisano too. And we have State of the City address is going to take place on the 17th. And you're all invited to
Got the invitation.
attend.
And you know that's at a committee, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes. Next on page 11, you can go ahead and read through my December activity. Aside from completing the media buys that have been approved and getting all that wrapped up, the birding festival's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And that's taking place the 6th
The
through the 9th.
7th? Was that the 7th?
the 6th through the 9th.
The 6th
No,
through
no,
the
no,
9th.
the
The 7th
annual?
annual.
Yes, it is the 7th annual. It's the 7th annual
Already?
birding festival already.
Real quick.
6th to the 9th.
Yes.
And they had a great number of group last year.
There is
It
a
was-
lot of enthusiasm on
Yes.
birding, and there's a lot of people that
I run into a few guys out at the lake already.
Already.
staking their place.
Yeah, they're already looking for birds, and I ran into one guy and he's like, I've been here for about 2 hours, I saw 50 different species of birds.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have their little list.
Yeah.
Right.
They have the little
And
books.
this year at the
Wow.
Christmas bird count, they saw
There were some new ones, right? Like 4 or
they
5
saw
new ones?
three or four species that they had never seen in Laredo during the Christmas bird count. So that is gonna help us bring more.
That's a bigger
people.
draw,
Yep.
yeah.
Because of all those people that wanna check those birds
Yeah.
off their list.
They go online and they say, this is what I saw, this is what I saw.
Yeah.
And all the,
Yeah.
Me
We
too.
put it
I
on
wanna go
Facebook,
see
I
it.
don't know what, yeah.
they
There's,
travel from all over the place.
I
Where
read
do the birds, are they stationary? Do they stay there to be?
They come for a chance
A
to
chance to
see
there you go.
the bird.
like for
That's
example,
It's not
a real
guaranteed.
reset.
they have people that have flown all the way from Canada to see the white collar seed eater, which
Yeah.
is our endemic bird, and they haven't been
Wow.
able to see it.
Formerly known as.
Formerly, because now it's a Morlet seed eater.
Marlette's seed eater.
Well, it has to
Formerly
be,
known as the white collar seed eater.
who came up
White
with
collar
why we
cedar, I wanna
named
see-
it?
I wanna
We're gonna
know
sue
that.
them. We've been promoting it as white collar cedar.
And we need to
It's all the way down,
stop
like I said, we're in the haystack to see a bird, that particular bird.
So if you want to learn more about birding and how all these people like do their list, I recommend that you watch the movie The Big Year.
I saw that. I mean, I don't know why.
I don't know why I watched it, but it was really good.
It's crazy, you know, the way they try to outdo each other and get there first, and you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And it's an honor system, so they basically check it off their list. And
Anonymous.
It's all a lie, they didn't see it, but
No,
just kidding.
I heard.
Now, I had attended a groundbreaking last month for the South Laredo Nature and Birding Center. And there I happened to run into a couple of members from the local Audubon Society. And that's where I had already been told by one of our birding vendors that the white-collared seed eater was now going to be renamed as Morelet's seed eater, after this gentleman whose last name is Morelet, who did all this research on the bird. So I asked him, I go, well, what does that mean? I go, that it's no longer the white-collared? He's like, it's that there's a cycle, that some birds, for whatever reason, are changed names to pay an homage to this person that has dedicated their time to finding out about that bird, their pattern, their breeding, and whatever.
Can you believe it?
So, so the white-collared seed eater is now the Morelet's seed eater. And he mentioned also about the lake. He's like, I don't know if, he's like, just so you can, keep this back of mind, but right now the Lake Casablanca is the #1 birding spot in all of Laredo. It used to be along the river's edge. It used to be at, I want to say North Central was a good location. But he goes, right now a majority of birders are just hitting it, I guess, big time there at the lake.
Even Ranchito Road?
That's what I'm talking about, Ranchito Road.
It's a great spot to some bird watching.
That's the road that goes to your place over there.
It's a great spot for bird watching.
Yeah.
Would you can clog up that road? I mean, is that
Yeah, that's the bad thing, because the road is on a little bordo, so it's got some erosion, so what used to at one point be a 2-lane is now 1.5, so when these guys are all out there, like, I'll drive out there some mornings, and there's 15, 20 guys out there, and there's a line of tripods, and they're in the middle of the road, and it's like, and then they come back out.
Do they get mad that you're
No, again, they're obstructing the road, and the reality is, they're not supposed to be on that road.
It's a private
road. It's a private ranch road, and there's a sign on there. So like, I'm like, it's okay, like, there's no problem, because sometimes it'll be like, hey, when there's like 1 or 2 people, they're like, we're not supposed to be out here, it's like, no one's gonna say anything if you're minding, if you're
doing your
be mindful you're birding, but, just don't litter, not in the regular stuff.
Is that the road, do you live by the road that takes you to where Dr. Gilbert Garza Lozano has his home also?
Yes, ours is,
okay.
We're, if you're at his house, you can see a aluminum fence where the asphalt ends, ours is on the other side of that fence.
Okay, yeah, that is, like you said, it was wider, and it's gotten narrower.
But again, that's county, but there's not much going on out there, so I mean, and I don't want the county out there going messy, so no, you don't. Make a mess there at the lake and the water and all that.
But it is a great spot for birds.
It's a great spot, so yeah, but
it is.
I think one of the times that we were out doing a hospitality greeting with some birders. They kept on looking at us like, don't make any noise. Like,
you're very intense about it. Like to make signs, I swear.
Where they're like, do you want coffee?
Yeah, they get very particular about their work.
But yes, and I did speak to somebody while I was there from the Rio Grande International Study Center, and I think they mentioned that they were already nearing 100 people pre-registered for the festival.
Wow, I believe it. That's good.
So they expect a really good turnout, and
it's becoming larger and larger.
I can see a 1,000 car caravan.
Like, where's the headquarters for the event? Like, where's
La Posada?
La Posada.
And then you can go to LaredoBirdingFestival.org, and it gives you the itineraries, the ranches that you can go ahead and register to visit.
And I think this
Birding on the Brush.
changing a little bit, but they usually have it at the Center for the Arts because they have an art exhibit.
Yeah.
They do an art contest in all the schools and art
I know
schools.
my daughter-in-law entered it in one of her students.
Wow, nice.
Oh, very nice. So that's when they do the opening, like the official opening of the festival.
And they stuff at the library too.
Yeah, they do, and they have speakers throughout the week,
Mhm.
and usually the keynote speaker, it's really good. Like they've done a great job. One year they had Sandy Camilo, which the movie The Big Year is based on his life. He was here.
They named a bird after him too.
They had this guy, he's very young.
Don't embellish.
A very young guy that studies penguins in Antarctica. And
Wow.
he wrote a book, and so they've had really good keynote speakers. Really, really good.
Oh,
keynote
man, I feel
speakers.
like I've missed so much. I don't know.
So this year, pack your binoculars
Binoculars.
and join
Mhm.
The birding,
the birding
fest.
A painting was seen in Laredo.
Where? And everybody goes.
We're gonna trap birds just to like make them appear. They're here. Release the birds.
Like Dennis is saying that because there's a red-billed pigeon. He's like, what if I paint like a blue-billed pigeon and an orange-billed pigeon?
Oh my God.
So we could have all the rainbow colors.
Yeah, so registration is open, and if anybody wants to check their website and sign up, but we are helping them out with some
Very interesting.
in-kind
That's very
advertising.
Yeah, media advisor on the next page, and then we have Ana.
Yes, good morning. I was working with the Paisano, with the authorities from Mexico, the US, working with Eileen. I was working with Beatriz and Selena for the giveaways, the 12 days of Christmas giveaways. So we have with Paisanos and everything, and we have a giveaways.
So we have our monthly giveaway that we've been doing, where we raffle a hotel stay and attractions. The attractions and our partners have been really good about participating with us. And then our marketing team did a 12 days of Christmas giveaway. So every day there was a different prize for everything. And throughout the year, we've had around like, what, 1,000, more than 1,000 people.
Over 1,000 entries.
Yes.
Participating in the giveaways.
Well, yeah, people love free things. You know?
Yeah, no, there were a lot of local partners that did participate for the 12 days giveaways. I want to say in total for the 12 days, the values combined of the prizes that were donated reached about $2,500, and we had about 1,500 people that registered for a chance to win each day.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And then we have our statistics.
The statistics on the zoning and the website.
Any questions? Then we have our Casa Laredo. They're basically prepared, well, they also help us with Paisano. Someone traveled to Laredo to participate in Paisano. And right now they're promoting, and their sales activities, they're promoting WBCA. Because we know there's a lot of interest in WBCA. We were talking before the meeting started. I just got a text from the office of the governor, our contact there, that she was to promote the Jalapeno Festival in their social media. So there's definitely a good, and their social media for Mexico, so there's definitely a lot of interest.
And the governor is Mr. South Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we're very lucky that we have we've always had a really good relationship with the tourism office at the office of the governor, but now a former Laredo CVBer is in charge of all the promotion in Latin America for the tourism office at the
Who's that?
Jessica Alexander.
Oh, really?
She used to be part of our marketing team, and so now she's a person in charge of promotion for the Spanish-speaking markets.
Where is she working for?
Visit Houston, and she did work for CBL Properties before that. So she was, when she left, she got married, she moved to Houston, she left the CBB. She started working for CBL, the mall. She was a marketing person for the mall out of Pearland. And then she started working for Visit Houston, and now for the office of the governor out of Austin.
Wow.
So it's a really good connection. It's a really good asset. And
Yeah, I'm sure.
she's helped us. She's given us a lot of information that we can use to promote, and also she advises us of opportunities that come about for CBBs to promote in Mexico. So
That's great.
And our inquiries are in the next page. As you see, it looks a little bit different than what we had in the past, because now they're coming out of our new system. So we're really excited. The new system, it's really, it helps us not only with this type of inquiry, but also we can follow up on tasks. We can have a better control of all the files and everything that we need for one event. And so it will provide better archiving systems for our office.
How do these numbers calculate as far as you have taxes at the very top, you have 756? Where are these numbers coming from? Is it from the bottom?
Yes, it's a total from
The San Antonio all the way to Corpus, that total there? Because that's not equaling that, but I was just wondering
No,
what that is.
They seem rather large, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it adding all of them together?
no, because it's only showing you the top 10, I think, per section. Like the top 10 cities in Texas, but that's,
I think,
Yeah,
yeah, we probably got more.
Those, I'm
They fall
sorry,
under
excuse
the,
me.
they fall under the other.
Between San Antonio and Corpus, these were the top 10 cities that made this list. It's not including all the other cities that were maybe, I'm so sorry.
2 inquiries.
Maybe like 2
320.
inquiries, 3 inquiries, 5 inquiries, 1 inquiry. So they were a total throughout the month of 756, but here it's just the
Only
top 10.
Okay. Let's just kind of understand how the report works.
Okay.
New report.
It's pretty,
It's a little bit more detailed than the one that we used to have with the other system, so.
How long have you had the system?
This one? Since October.
Acaba de comenzar.
And Joel spearhead that project with Monica. Especially in terms of getting the tool, Joel, and then getting it running, Monica and Selena have to, because they transferred all the information, getting everything, figuring out the new system, how it works, how we can make the best use out of it. So, for example, if there's a project like Austin Legislative, and every other year, we use templates, we use lists, we use certain things, we can save those files to the system. And so, let's say the lead for that project is not here in 2 years, whoever goes into the system doesn't have to worry about where in the server did they put it. It was it in their computer? How does it work? Who's the contact? What's the next step? It's all in the system.
And you could access web-based, so you're in Austin, oh, I forgot what I did.
so you can pick it up.
You
can-
log in into your laptop or your iPhone, and you'll be able to see everything, so.
We can assign tasks, so for example, if I'm working on Austin and I say, oh, well, I make sure that we have the deals and the menus for the reception, I can send a task and Hoyle will receive that notification, and it shows on my screen, okay, I can run reports of things that aren't being done, I can run reports on things that are pending. So it has a lot of potential in terms of what we can do with this new tool. Very good. Any other question, any other comment?
No, I'm good.
So how does this meeting get reported to?
As non-form, Monica reports to us. As non-form.
I have a record, if you go to page 4, what I did for last month. We have a written record on it, and it's really for our files.
Yes.
no quorum minutes.
What happens, if this happens again, would be 2 in a row, is there any, penalties or?
Well, there is a list of, I believe with this one, because it wasn't an excuse, we have some members that are already, as per the rules, out, because they haven't attended, they have been absent for more than 4 meetings.
I think the ordinance reads calendar year.
Oh,
So
so
this is absence number 1.
Start it all over, reset.
What do we need to do to be, like, if somebody says they're going to come,
Mhm.
and they said at the last minute, they didn't even show up, I mean,
Well,
I think that they should call at least, because
That would be the expectation, and that would be the
that would be the responsible
the
thing to do.
responsible.
Maybe we could talk about it in the next meeting when we have a
Well, we
quorum.
need to.
Yeah.
And I think I report every Friday. I send a Friday packet memo,
Mm-hmm.
and I report to the council members the Friday after the meeting, who was here, who wasn't. Yeah, just so they have an idea of if their committee member made it to the meetings, or if we didn't have a quorum, why we didn't have a quorum. So, well, at the end of the day, what we want is to have the participation. I think it has been a really positive exercise. And we were mentioning that we might lose Rochelle, not necessarily because of the transition in council members, but because she's moving on to a different position, a different job. And so we're gonna lose
You're in
Rochelle.
Laredo?
Yes. So, we might lose Rochelle, which, we're sad to see her go.
But is it because she can't attend the meetings, or?
What she said to me was that she was starting a new position, and I feel that she didn't want to say to her new employer, oh, by the way, I'm gonna be out once a month, maybe so early in her employment.
It's true.
So,
It should, I mean, it'd be, something positive for them.
And she's a great asset to this.
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
She
So
always
once
has
it-
feedback and.
Also, once the transition with the new council members is over, we might have a better grasp of who's in the committee and who will be really committed, for lack of a better word, to participating. But it's definitely something that we really want to stress with the council members, that if they choose somebody, that we really want somebody that's gonna participate. In our case, we really value all the comments and the conversation and the guidance that you all provide, and we really want somebody that's gonna participate on that.
Well, it's important, I think, and they have to be committed to whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I told Albert. I mean, Albert is, and I told him, I want you to know, I said, that I don't think I've ever had to miss.
No.
No, I don't think so.
And he said, well, I'm glad, because a lot of the other committees that
Mhm.
that's under council members.
And we had we had almost a year without any, and then after the change with moving it here and everything, kind of like, we've had like 3 in less than
I
a
would say
year.
that
Right.
has affected us negatively.
Mhm.
Yes, for some reason.
And no, I don't know why.
I don't know, and for some reason, because we were doing great, we had a very good record, and we understand that there's situations, health-wise and family matters and
Well, if
important
you're sick, you're
situations.
sick, but I mean,
Exactly, and we understand that, but we do have several people that are like consistently not participating in, and so that's something that I have to take to their council members and just see that, I mean, not to point fingers or to like.
Well, but
They made a commitment.
Exactly.
the requirements are there, I mean, and they say, if you miss a certain amount of meetings, this is what's gonna happen, they have to know.
Well, we can let everyone know, since, as you said, we're new year, so it would be the first time, so maybe this next
Exactly.
meeting, we say, look, we had a good run going. Somewhere in this transition, something happened, but let's see if we can get back on track to having that.
Maybe it's the time, I don't know, I don't think
know.
it is.
The
Because, I
time's the
mean,
same.
and we also wanna, make sure that we need to address with the new council members if they wanna keep their appointees or they wanna change. So there's some things that are gonna happen in the next couple of months, but we definitely appreciate, I mean, so many years that y'all have participated with us, the partnerships, everything that y'all do.
Who appointed to?
Ah, pues, George Orena cuando.
Mhm.
I think it helps also for the committee members to hear from the committee. It's one thing if they hear it from us, but if
Sure.
they hear it from you all, we're here, we need you all to be here with us, so we can have our
Absolutely.
meeting.
No, we have to have commitment. I mean, if we're signing up for something like this, we should take responsibility for
Yeah, you're
it.
absolutely right.
And I really appreciate Monica, you always let us know, it's
Yes.
coming up, it's only courteous to say, yes, I will be there, or no, I will not be there. It's a courtesy, it's a professional courtesy to let them know, or everyone here know, if we will or will not be here.
And if you make a commitment,
Do it.
do it, and if you can't make it, don't, you
It
know.
was explained to me very well what the commitment was, so I was able to say, yes, sure, I can do that.
So technically, we have two that would be new appointees, which is District 3 and District 6. And so we will.
Little Merc and, Little Merc, I call him. I have known him for 60 years. I never heard him much more than that. And, plus the
The two
dog.
Martinez's.
The two Martinez.
Yeah, the two M's.
The two
MM, M&M.
M&M.
And they're both MM and MM. So yeah,
Yes.
Mercurio Martinez and Marta Martinez. No, we
Well, let's see what
definitely.
we can do with the attendance, because.
Yeah. And we definitely appreciate the fact that, I mean, all of you have been regulars in our meetings and
I was
Thank you.
just out because I had some surgery, but
No,
I mean, I'm back.
and it's-
I was with Monica, and now I can go and drive and everything, but before I wasn't.
it's been the case, like, we know there's health situations, there's family situations. I mean, that's a given even for us, for everywhere, but it's just a commitment, and we appreciate the partnership and the commitment from all of you. I hope you enjoyed that.
Well,
It was.
I appreciate your professionalism as a total, as a team. I think it's always very nice to be here with you all, and your presentations and positive attitudes. It's really good to see.
Absolutely, I
It
agree.
is. I mean,
Thank you
I
very
think that
much.
every once in a while, we have to
Recognize
say, good job.
Good job.
No, we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you.
well.
Very good.
Okay.